Hi, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have an interesting story for you to listen. That is The Magic Stick. Before we begin the story, I have a question for you. Do you believe in miracles? If you could perform a miracle, what would you do? Think about it while you enjoy the story. Once upon a time, there was a poor man who lived with his beautiful wife. They were a happy couple, always smiling and content. They never argued, and the love they shared was pure. The husband loved his wife deeply, and she loved him just as much. They were simple people who worked hard every day, but they were content with what they had. However, they had a neighbor who was very different from them. This neighbor was a rich, handsome man. He had everything: money, fancy clothes, and a large house. But there was something he didn't have, and that was the beautiful wife of the poor man. Every time he saw her, his heart would skip a beat. She was so lovely, and he couldn't stop thinking about her. One day, the rich man decided that he wanted her for himself. I want to marry her, he thought to himself. I could give her a life of luxury, far better than the simple life she has now. He began to visit the poor man's house every day while the husband was out working in the fields. "You're a beautiful woman," he would say with a smile. "But look at your clothes. They're old and worn out. Why doesn't your husband buy you new, beautiful clothes? If he truly loved you, he would buy you something nice. Leave him and marry me. I will give you all the beautiful clothes you could ever want. You will be the most beautiful woman in all of Ethiopia." At first, the wife didn't listen to him. She was happy with her life and didn't care about his words. But the rich man came to her house every day, and every day he said the same thing. Slowly, his words started to make her think. "Why doesn't my husband buy me new clothes?" she wondered. "Does he really love me? Maybe the rich man is right." That night, she said to her husband, "Look at me. My clothes are old and ugly. I want new clothes. Buy me something beautiful." Her husband smiled and said, "You don't need new clothes. To me, you are the most beautiful woman in the world." But she was upset. "Don't you love me?" she asked. "If you really loved me, you would buy me a new dress." Her husband thought about it. He didn't have much money, but he wanted his wife to be happy. "I don't have a lot of money," he thought, "but I will do my best to make her happy." The next day, he went to the market. He didn't buy much, but he did buy a new dress for his wife. He took it home and gave it to her. When she put it on, she was overjoyed. "Thank you, my dear husband," she cried. "Now I know that you love me." When the rich man came to visit again, the wife proudly showed him her new dress. "See," she said, "my husband loves me. He bought me this beautiful dress." Part 2. When the rich man saw the new dress, he shook his head and said, "That's nice, but a good husband doesn't just buy clothes. A good husband buys gold. Where's your gold necklace? Where are your gold rings?" The poor wife was confused. Gold? My husband doesn't have money for that, she thought. But the rich man didn't stop there. He opened a box and showed her some beautiful gold jewelry. Look at these, he said, holding up the shining necklaces and rings. If you leave your husband and marry me, I will give you all of this. You will be rich, and no one will ever call you poor again. The woman didn't want to listen, but the rich man was clever. He came to her house every day, showing her more and more gold. He would say the same thing every time. Divorce your husband, marry me, and I will give you everything you've ever dreamed of. Eventually, the woman began to wonder, why doesn't my husband buy me gold jewelry? She thought. If he really loved me, wouldn't he want to give me these things? That day, she didn't cook dinner. She didn't make any food for her husband. When he came home, tired and hungry after working all day in the fields, he was surprised. "There's no dinner for you tonight," she said, looking at him sadly. "You don't love me." Her husband was shocked. "What do you mean? I love you more than anything in the world." "Then why don't you buy me gold?" she asked. "When a man loves his wife, he gives her gold jewelry, necklaces, rings, just like the rich man has shown me." Her husband's heart sank. He had already spent money on her new dress, and now she was asking for more. "I don't have much money left," he thought, "but I love her, and I want to make her happy." "I will go to my brother," he decided. "Maybe he can lend me some money. I will work for him in his field to pay him back." The next day, he went to his brother's house. "Please, lend me some money," he asked. "I will work hard for you in your field to repay you." His brother agreed, but there was a condition. "You must move all the stones from my field," his brother said. "It's a hard job, but I'll lend you the money if you work for me." The poor man agreed, and he worked tirelessly all day to move the heavy stones. By evening, he had finished the job. His brother gave him the money he needed, and he went to the market. He bought a beautiful gold necklace and rings for his wife. When he returned home, he showed them to her. "Look, my dear wife," he said, "I bought you this gold. I hope it makes you happy." The woman was overjoyed. She put the necklace around her neck and slipped the rings onto her fingers. "Look at me," she said, smiling at her husband. "I am beautiful now, aren't I?" "Yes," he said softly. "You are beautiful, and if you are happy, I am happy." She hugged him tightly. Thank you, my dear husband," she cried. "Now I know you love me." The next day, as the poor man went back to work in the fields, his wife was happy. She thought about how lucky she was to have a husband who loved her so much. "He works so hard for me," she thought. "He buys me beautiful things. I know he loves me." But just then, there was a knock at the door. The rich man was there again, as always. "Hello," he said with a sly smile. "Can your husband make miracles yet?" The woman was puzzled. "What do you mean by miracles?" she asked. The rich man smiled even more. "I can give you more than gold," he said. "I can give you something even better. If you leave your husband and marry me, I can make miracles happen every day." She was shocked. "Miracles? What do you mean? Can your husband make miracles?" the rich man asked. The woman didn't know how to respond. "No," she said. "Of course he can't make miracles. Only God can do that. Men cannot make miracles." The rich man grinned. "But I can. Love can make miracles. If you love me, I will show you miracles every day. If you love your husband, he will make miracles for you. But you must promise to love me first." The woman was silent. She didn't say anything, and the rich man went away, waiting for her to decide. That night, the poor man came home, tired from his hard work. He was hungry, and he was looking forward to his wife's warm meal. But when she brought the food to him, she didn't smile. "What's wrong?" the husband asked. "Are you feeling sick?" "No," she said sadly. "I'm sad because you don't love me." He was surprised. "But I love you. I bought you new clothes. I bought you gold. You are the most precious thing in the world to me." "Then why don't you make miracles for me?" she asked. He was stunned. "Miracles? What are you talking about?" "The rich man came again today," she said. "He told me that love makes miracles. He said if you loved me, you would make miracles for me." The poor man was confused and worried. "I can't make miracles," he thought, "but I can't let her leave me for that rich man. What can I do?" The next day, he worked even harder in his brother's field, trying to find a way to keep his wife happy. "I must pray," he thought. "Only God can help me now." And so he prayed to God for help. He loved his wife, and he wanted to keep her. "Please, Lord," he prayed, "please help me make a miracle for her. Don't let this rich man take her away from me." As he worked under the hot sun, he noticed a man sitting under a tree. The man looked strange, but kind. "Who are you?" the poor man asked. "I am a wizard," the man said, "and I have a gift for you." He handed the poor man 2 sticks. "These sticks can make miracles," the wizard said. The poor man was excited. "Miracles?" he said. "What kind of miracles?" "With the first stick," the wizard explained, "you can turn a person into a donkey, and with the second stick, you can turn them back into a person." The poor man smiled. "This is exactly what I need," he said. "Thank you, my friend. Now I can keep my wife and punish my enemy." He ran home, holding the sticks. Part 3. The rich man was worried. "Her husband loves her too much," he thought. "If I want her to be mine, I must be clever. I must do something that will make her doubt him." The rich man thought for a while. Then, with a smile, he approached the poor woman again. "Your husband gave you clothes and gold," he said, but I can give you more than that." The woman was confused. "What do you mean?" she asked. "Can your husband make miracles?" The rich man asked with a sly smile. "Miracles?" she said, surprised. "No, of course. He can't make miracles. Only God can make miracles. Men can't do that." The rich man shook his head and looked at her. "But I can," he said, "because I love you. Love can make miracles. If your husband loves you, he can make miracles for you. If you love me, I will make miracles for you. I will show you things you've never imagined." The woman thought for a moment. "Make a miracle for me now," she said, half joking. The rich man smiled. "I can't do it right now," he said. "But first, you must promise to love me. You must leave your husband and come to me. Only then will I show you the miracles I can make for you." The woman didn't know what to say. She was silent, and the rich man went away, waiting for her answer. That night, when her husband returned home, he was tired from working in the fields all day. He came into the house, looking forward to a warm meal. But when his wife brought the food to him, she looked upset. "What's wrong, my dear?" the poor man asked, concerned. "Are you feeling unwell?" "No," she said quietly. "I'm sad because you do not love me." Her husband was shocked. "What do you mean? Of course I love you. I bought you new clothes. I bought you gold. You are the most important thing in my life." "But you don't make miracles for me," she said, her voice soft but serious. "Miracles?" he said, confused. "What are you talking about? I can't make miracles." "Why not?" she asked. "Our neighbor told me that love makes miracles. He said that if you really loved me, you would make miracles for me." Her husband was very worried now. "That rich man wants to take my wife away," he thought. First, he made her want new clothes. Then, he made her ask for gold. And now, he's asking her for miracles. What can I do? If I don't make a miracle, maybe she will leave me for him. The next day, he went to his brother's field again, working harder than ever. "I must pray," he thought. "I can't do this alone. Only God can help me now." And so he prayed as he worked. "Oh Lord," he prayed, "please help me. I love my wife, and I want to keep her. Don't let this rich man take her away from me." As he worked under the hot sun, he noticed a man sitting in the shade of a tree. The man looked strange but kind. "Who are you?" the poor man asked. "I am a wizard," the man replied, "and I have a gift for you." The poor man looked at the wizard, puzzled but curious. "A gift?" he asked. "What kind of gift?" The wizard handed the poor man 2 wooden sticks. "These sticks can make miracles," the wizard said with a smile. "Miracles?" the poor man asked eagerly. "What kind of miracles?" The wizard smiled and explained. "If you touch a person with the first stick, they will turn into a donkey. But if you touch them with the second stick, they will turn back into a human." The poor man's eyes lit up. This is perfect, he thought. I can keep my wife, and I can teach that rich man a lesson. The wizard handed him the sticks, and the poor man thanked him. Thank you, my friend. I prayed to God for help, and you have answered my prayer. Now I can protect my wife and punish my enemy. He quickly ran back home, excited to show his wife what he had received. When he arrived, he called out, "Wife, come here. I am going to make a miracle." His wife came out of the house, curious. "A miracle?" she asked, puzzled. "Look," said her husband, holding up the first stick. "Watch what happens." He touched her with the first stick. Immediately, she transformed. Her body changed, her face became longer, and she began to bray. "Hee-haw! Hee-haw!" was all she could say. The poor man was both shocked and amazed. But before his wife could say anything else, he touched her with the second stick. At once, she returned to her normal self. She looked at him, her eyes wide with surprise. "Husband, that's amazing. That was a real miracle. How did you do it?" "I prayed to God," the poor man said, "and he sent me this gift. Now, wife, I am going to punish my enemy." "Your enemy?" his wife asked, confused. "Who do you mean?" "The rich man, our neighbor," he said, pointing toward their neighbor's house. "He has been filling your head with bad ideas. First, he made you want new clothes. Then, he made you ask for gold. And now, he's asked for miracles. He wants you to leave me and marry him." The wife was silent. She knew it was true. "I'm sorry," she said, looking down, ashamed. "He told me those things. He wanted me to divorce you and marry him. I listened to him, and I was wrong." Her husband was calm but serious. "Do you want to divorce me and marry him?" he asked. Her eyes filled with tears. "No, my dear husband," she said, crying. "I want to stay with you forever. I will never listen to him again." The poor man smiled, feeling a sense of relief. "Then take this stick," he said, handing her the first stick. "Go to the rich man and touch him with it." His wife took the stick and went to the rich man's house the next day. The rich man was waiting, eager to hear the news. "Well," he asked, "can your husband make miracles yet?" "Yes," she said, holding up the stick. She touched him with it, and in an instant, the rich man transformed into a donkey. "Now you can go to work," she said, smiling. The woman took the donkey out to the fields where her husband was working. "Look," she said to him, "I've brought you a helper." The poor man was surprised. "A donkey?" he asked, laughing. "Well, I can certainly use this to carry the heavy loads." From that day, the rich man worked as a donkey for the poor man. He carried stones, sacks of grain, and flour from the market. He worked tirelessly under the hot sun, helping the poor man with his chores. The poor man was no longer so poor. With the donkey's help, he became more successful. But as the years passed, the donkey grew old and tired. One day, the poor man looked at it sadly. "You've worked hard for me," he thought. "You deserve a rest." He went inside his house, brought out the second stick, and touched the donkey with it. Immediately, the donkey turned back into the rich man, but he was no longer young and handsome. His back was bent, and he was very tired. "You tried to take my wife away from me," the poor man said. "That was wrong. Now go home and never come near my wife again." The rich man was ashamed. He hung his head low and walked away, never to return. The poor man and his wife lived happily together for many more years, free from the rich man's tricks. They learned that love, patience, and faith are the true miracles in life. Part 4. The poor man stood tall and looked at the rich man, who was now old, tired, and bent over from years of hard work as a donkey. The poor man's heart was filled with both sadness and triumph. "You tried to take my wife away from me," the poor man said, his voice steady but firm. "That was wrong. You used lies and tricks to make her doubt me. But now I have taught you a lesson. Go home. Never come near my wife again." The rich man, standing before him, was ashamed. He had been transformed from a handsome, wealthy man into a weak, old donkey. He hung his head in shame, realizing his selfish actions had cost him everything. He said nothing and began to walk slowly away, his steps heavy with regret. For the first time, the rich man understood what true love meant. It was not about gold, fancy clothes, or the power to control others. It was about honesty, faith, and respect. He had lost everything for the sake of vanity and greed. The poor man and his wife stood quietly, watching him go. The wife, still feeling guilty for listening to the rich man in the first place, looked at her husband with tears in her eyes. "I am so sorry," she whispered. "I should have never doubted you. You are the best husband in the world. I will never listen to him again." Her husband smiled warmly, taking her hand. "Don't worry, my love. We've been through a lot together, but we're stronger now. Our love is what matters, not the things that others try to make us believe." From that day on, the poor man and his wife lived happily, just as they always had. They didn't need riches, gold, or miracles. They had something far more valuable: each other. The poor man continued to work hard in the fields, and his wife was there to support him. Together, they built a peaceful, simple life. Their love grew stronger with each passing day, and they never again allowed anyone or anything to come between them. But what happened to the rich man? Well, after his shameful walk home, he disappeared from the village. People whispered about him for a while, but over time, he was forgotten. The villagers knew that he had learned his lesson the hard way. As for the poor man and his wife, they grew old together, surrounded by the peace and happiness they had earned. Their simple life was filled with love, laughter, and the quiet joy of being content with what they had. The magic stick had given them more than just a way to punish their enemy. It had shown them that love and faith could work miracles of their own. The miracles that matter the most, miracles of the heart. And that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It's a beautiful reminder that true love doesn't need gold, jewels, or fancy things. All it needs is faith, trust, and a deep connection between two people who care for each other. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing stories. I would love to hear your thoughts on this story. And remember, miracles are all around us, and sometimes they're closer than we think. Take care, and see you in the next video.